But Rob, let's go to college football. Last week, of course, the story broke that Michigan was under investigation by the NCAA for a potential cheating scandal, and more has come out about that. Rob G, summarize the latest reports for us.
Sure. So just quick background. Connor Stalions, who is an assistant coach on the Michigan football team. He was a volunteer for 7 years and was hired officially last season. Again, he was suspended last week without pay for allegedly stealing opponent signs, and by doing so, not just at the games, he would go to games that Michigan was not playing in and record the signs and use them for Michigan's benefit.
Those would be future opponents.
Which is the illegal part. If he did it at a Michigan-Penn State game and it was just that game, it's okay. But since he's like a Penn State Rutgers game, that's illegal. Well, according to ESPN, Pete Thamel, friend of the show.
Yes.
Newest reports indicate that Stalions purchased tickets to more than 30 games over the last few years for 11 different Big Ten teams. According to the report, he actually had a pattern. He would buy these tickets around the 45-yard line facing the sideline of the team he was trying to scout, and he'd buy them on SeatGeek or StubHub. He would then forward the tickets to one of three individuals that would then sit in that seat with a handheld device, usually a smartphone, and just record the opposing defensive signals.
Unbelievable.
Now, again, Jim Harbaugh said he had no idea what was going on. He had no knowledge whatsoever, but it must be noted that Stalions' current salary is only $55,000 a year in Michigan. That's number one. And number two, when all this started to pop off last week and became public knowledge, Stalions actually had 2 tickets to last week's Ohio State-Penn State game, one on opposite 45-yard lines, so we could record both teams simultaneously. And interestingly enough, those tickets went unused.
Wow, he didn't go, Chris. He all of a sudden didn't feel like going to college football. Why is that?
Rob, this is, I mean,
this reeks, and Chris, the big thing is that ain't no way you're going to act like you don't know. I'm going to ask one question to you, Chris, if I was to ask Jim Harbaugh. This guy's on your staff, right? And you don't know anything. You have no idea what this is, and they're recording signals or whatever, and you have this information has not come your way or on your desk or anything. Because Rob G, he didn't go to the games, right? He sent other people, correct?
Correct.
Right. So you had no idea.
He went to some of. Did he go to some of them, Stalions?
Yeah, well, I mean, in general,
right.
For the most part, yes, it was other people.
But
he
it was
would send
other people
for those games,
different parts of the country.
But I'm just saying. But I'm saying, Chris. So he's on your staff. You don't know where he is on Saturday. Where was he? He was at. You know what I mean? Like, what was he doing?
I mean, I don't know. Is he an assistant coach?
He's on the staff.
Right.
But where is he? Wouldn't you be at the Michigan game?
Stalions? If we're doing a show and Alex isn't here, I'm like, where's Alex?
Right, where's Alex?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That would be my biggest thing is like, why is he not present and accounted for? Where is he? What is he doing today?
Yeah, no, that's one thing that makes it hard to believe Harbaugh had no idea. A second thing is, as Rob G said, he makes $55,000 a year. And he's got money.
Why is he buying
to
tickets?
Spend on all these college football games in different parts of the country? And then even if let's just suspend reality for a moment and say, yeah, he just likes going to see other Big Ten teams play. Okay. When he should be at the Michigan game, but okay.
Okay.
Right? What's he doing? Why is he even doing it? Is he making home movies? Now, I mean, Rob, he's
not recording the game. He's recording
recordings
signals.
Are getting back to the Michigan staff. What else would you be doing it for? And if you don't, if Harbaugh and the leaders of the staff didn't know he was doing this, don't just say, wait, where are you getting these from? How'd you get this? And then you make a decision, well, we're either going to keep it and use it, or we're going to
fire him.
Get rid
Chris,
of it.
Fire him and say, what are you doing?
Right. And
you know that this is a violation.
To the
exactly.
NCAA.
Right.
So and again, it's hard for me to believe we're going to let the investigation play out. But it's hard for me to believe, Rob, that Harbaugh didn't know. It's too much. What's he doing it for? Like you said, he's not even filming the games. He's filming the sidelines. So it just doesn't, it's not looking good for Michigan right now. And Rob, right today, they became the betting favorite to win the national championship.
Are you serious?
And it could all be tainted. Yep.
Wow. And that is the other thing, definitely, about it being tainted and what he was able to do, Chris, to turn this program around. People are going to be like, dude, none of it was real. Jim Harbaugh, right? None of it. And I know he's innocent until proven guilty, but these things and this research, like Chris, buying tickets, using your credit card, everything can be traced. Everything. And they can go and get video of stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised what they can find and what cameras are out on people. You'd be surprised.
No doubt.
You see it in police work. I don't know if you watch some of these police shows, Chris. It's incredible. They can find out everything. What bank you were at and video of you taking money out of the bank and your credit card at the gas station. They can find that video. They can map out everything you've done.
Well, Rob, I heard Paul Feinbaum on another.
I know he went off.
About this.
I already know.
You know, it was interesting because initially he kind of gave. I wouldn't say he wasn't soft on Harbaugh, but he was like, "This seems like the NCAA is just out to get Harbaugh because," and I'm paraphrasing, but because, he didn't really cooperate with them in the last investigation, and you know what I mean. So he kind of took that approach, like, let's wait to see what happens. But that seems like what this could be. But now, Rob, this is a lot of stuff. And one thing he did say, Rob, another thing, was that he thinks that Harbaugh will leave college football and go to the NFL now.
Now he can because, Chris, remember he had to build his stock back up. You remember when things were so bad.
Didn't he think he was it Minnesota? He thought he was getting a job, and it didn't happen. I think it was Minnesota.
Right. Rob G, you got something? 4-2 now, home run by Houston. 4-2 in the, is this third or fourth inning? Third inning.
Well, Rob, I just wanted to piggyback what you said about building the stock back up, right? Because this is coming after 2019, they go 9-4, losing the Citrus Bowl. 2020, the COVID year, 2-4. Remember, there was allegation that they were deliberately trying to avoid Ohio State, right? The rivalry game. I don't even remember that. According to ESPN, and this actually came out end of last week, even before today's report, the allegations of stealing signs, you know when they started, allegedly? The 2021 season. So this turnaround by Michigan football and Jim Harbaugh. That was the
year they turned it around.
Yep.
Right?
They went 12-2 in 2020-21, and they went 13-1 last season.
So there you go. And that's the problem with this is that this all coincides when things got better at Michigan and Ann Arbor for them. And we talked about it before with Bill Belichick, Chris, and we know this, the same thing with the Astros and the cheating scandal. When you know what's coming, and you can, it gives you a huge advantage. It just does. I don't care if you know that they're playing this kind of defense or what pitch is coming, if it in the Astros
what
thing
is coming, what that signal means, what offense, what defense they're running, all that. Yeah, absolutely. Because, Rob, we said it. These are world-class athletes. Even at the college level, they're incredibly high-level athletes. And the degree of separation, when you talk about the top schools, the degree of separation in ability is minuscule.
Right. And
so any little advantage you have, and if you just think about it, because some people, Rob, are no doubt saying, what's the big deal? Just think about it if it's you on the other side. And you're going, you got a big game and, you've done it the right way, and the other guy is cheating some way. It's not cool.
No, and that's where a lot of people will push back on it, you know what I mean, and not respect it just to be able to get that big advantage and cheat. And there is a degree of that. Like there's a certain thing if you're dumb enough to have your own signals out in the open where somebody could pick them up at the game, Chris, that's on you. If you're a pitcher and you're tipping your pitches by doing something right, you tap your glove every time you throw a curveball, that's on you.
Right. And Rob, we talked about this during the Astros cheating scandal because, there is what is cheating, what isn't. And we've, like you said, if my guy who's on second base
can see the signs,
can decipher what the signs are from the catcher and relay them to our hitter, then more power to him.
Right.
But when it's done with technology, this was the case with the Astros, but also here in Michigan, and was that the Yankees, I believe, were using some iPhones, right, to steal signs and stuff like that. I think it was the Yankees, if I remember, a few years ago. That's when it becomes an unequal playing field because any team, when we're all at the ballpark, you can steal our signs, we can steal your signs if we can. And whichever team is better at stealing them, so be it. That's great. But when you involve technology and you may be using technology that I don't have or you're using technology that we didn't choose to use, that's when it becomes an unfair advantage. And so I think cheating is essentially gaining an unfair advantage. And so I think that's the issue with this, Rob.
No doubt. And if it does, it looks bad for Michigan, looks bad for Jim Harbaugh, and he probably will wound up trying to get out of college and go into the pros.